Good day, ladies and gentlemen. This is your organizing committee from ESIPAC, which is Electrical Safety Industry Practices Actions Committee. We were formed a little over 2 years ago with a dream. Now, I couldn't do this alone. I witnessed firsthand an electrical incident led to a fatality, shock arc flash related. As you know, those are the only two hazards. And I wanted to reach out to the rest of the world and saw this disparity between the privileged and the have-nots in terms of education, in terms of training, in terms of equipment and installations, and reached out to 10 experts all around the world. And 2 years later, we have 10 stalwarts across the world, and we are well on our way towards our first workshop in Brisbane, Australia, an inaugural workshop. So before I say any more, as your founder and president on the way out to be success, I would like to introduce you to the core management team of ESIPAC and have each one describe what ESIPAC means to them. And then we shall talk specifically about the workshop. So I shall start with the chief engineer of ESIPAC, who actually will assign work to all the other directors as it keeps coming in. So he has a very, very crucial role in the quality and disbursement of work that comes into ESIPAC from emerging economies. Please, ladies and gentlemen, let me present to you Mr. David Davenport from the UK.
Thank you for that very kind introduction, Sam, and the round of applause that went with it. Yes, I'm very, very pleased and very proud to be part of this an amazing team. You have the talent, Sam, of being able to select 10 people that are all fearless, all very knowledgeable in their own area. And whereas once upon a time, 2.5 years ago, I felt very much as though I was fighting a lone battle for the safety and the standards of electrical equipment throughout the world. And even in the UK, we have some very serious shortcomings on how we handle things. So to get people around me, such as yourselves and the rest of the team, has been quite inspirational and a good pillar to lean upon. I've spent a lot of time engaging with the likes of the UK Health and Safety Executive, who I feel are very negligent in the work that they do in many, many areas, and I continue to take that battle to them. I've had many occasions where I've been threatened to be taken to court for things that I have said, and have yet to have one single claim made against me of anything that I've said that has been untrue. And you know of incidents such as the Heathrow episode that could so easily have been avoided, and we wait for a report that never really comes to fruition, and you get to hear about what actually happened behind the scenes. And a lot of that was negligence and management systems and processes that were so poor and inadequate and could have cost lives. And that is what's so shameful about this. And in the UK, I find it very unfortunate that people are very fearful about reporting incidents where there's been an arc flash incident, simply because of lack of confidence in the media of where they're coming from. And so this is a constant battle, not just in the UK, but of course around the globe. I have the pleasure of presenting in Africa and in the Middle East, and I'm alarmed at how they follow organizations such as OSHA, and you would think that they're a mirror image of those. But actually, when you look behind the scenes, there are so many incidents, accidents, fatalities that take place that are just never risen to the surface because they subdue them all. And it's shameful. And that is why I'm so very proud to be part of this ESIPAC group that will continue to fight and continue to further what they do for many years to come.
Hallelujah, Dave. This is so amazing. We are so fortunate to have Dave Davenport at the helm as our chief engineer, and uh, the uh, the core technical resource to our group of 12, and his own frustrations, trials, and tribulations to see. Yes, I hear your frustrations. It's like when the incident in question happened that inspired me to think about a nonprofit. It was like in the movies, the police, the OSHA, the powers that be always show up in the end after the incident is done, and then they're trying to investigate and perchance come up with a trail to who to peg the blame on. And I'm thinking, where were the good guys when this rookie or this group of people that did not know what they were doing, they weren't trained properly? This whole thing could have been prevented. And then I looked towards the standards. My own mentor, Jim White, God bless his soul, he was on many of these committees in the United States and Canada. And he used to tell me that, no, we just write standards. We don't enforce them. OSHA does. Our stuff is enforceable by non-compliance. Like, nobody cares what's written in the book until something happens. Then they'll point out that this clause of electrical safety was violated. Hence, OSHA deems the company and the facilities manager as guilty. So there was this big gap of brave people who can go out to the field and stop uh, incidents before they happen, and save lives and minimize equipment downtime. So that was the the two mandates, which brings me to the introduction of our high voltage expert from down under Australia, who is to succeed me as president in the next uh, in the first inaugural upcoming workshop. I'd like to introduce our president-elect, Mr. Dale West.
Thank you, Sam. My reason for joining ESIPAC was very similar, really, with David. With when I started going into teaching high voltage, I thought I knew high voltage, but I was mentored under a gentleman who also sadly has passed away. And when I then started to go to different sites and seeing how they all manage their HV systems, it became obviously aware that everyone's just trying to do the best they possibly can in managing the systems. So there's no standards. And I thought it might be just Australia, but also going to seminars and seeing people from the UK, the USA, Canada, and such, with people that I respected a great deal, and then finding out that they too are in the same spot. And ESIPAC, when joining a meeting with ESIPAC probably about a year ago now, I was a bit like Dave. I felt like that I was on my own, and I was fighting for helping people understand how to manage HV systems. But teaming up with you guys and having that big meeting that time, I could see that there are other people very much like myself that is interested in trying to improve HV out there, rather than just trying to make money, um, and also actually learning and passing that on, rather than just saying, this is what I've been doing for 20 years and everyone should do the same. So it was really uplifting for me, to see a bunch of people who were actively interested in improving safety and improving HV management. And I love the idea where ESIPAC donates their time to help any developing countries to help with their engineering and safety. Because, like you say, safety shouldn't cost. It's sad that we see, and I've been to Africa, West Africa, seen the cheap value, I suppose, they put on life, and it's very sad. And it's these people don't have the money to pay for the good resources, so that's where I love what ESIPAC is doing. But yeah, I'm looking forward to this workshop we got in Brisbane. Where what I like about you guys are coming under your own steam. And donating your time to do this. And you're not going to be dealing in Australia, obviously. We're not a developing country. So I love the fact that you guys are coming here and showing us not just what you do, but how you do it. So there's a lot of the stuff that you guys are going to be showing us we can't find anywhere. We've got to go to the States. Obviously, the States got a lot bigger, a lot more training companies, and they can teach a lot of stuff that you might be showing us, but we don't get that access to in Australia. And so we got people crying out for it. And if we can have you guys show us how you do things, at least, even if we don't do it ourselves, if we don't take it on, at least we have a better understanding on how it's done. So when we're overseeing contractors doing the work for us, we have a better understanding as to what's out there, what they should be doing, how they should be doing it. So it's going to be a lot. It's going to be a bit of a boot camp. I certainly hope that the people love what we're going to do, learn a lot, and can take it back to work and apply it. That's the main thing. A lot of seminars and conferences that are done in Australia, it really is. You might learn a little bit of things, you pick up on a couple of things, but you're not actually getting into the nuts and bolts of things on how to do things. And like I say, even if you don't have to know the nuts and bolts, you're not going to get out there and do it. At least you know how it's done, so you can assess someone who's going to do it. So I love it. I'm really excited about this. I think a lot of people are going to learn a lot and take it back to work.
Well, thank you, Dale. That was awesome. Our next president-elect, Dale West, on whose initiative the Brisbane inaugural workshop is to be this February 16th through the 18th, 2026. And we're excited to all meet up over there once again. So you've met our president, our vice president, chief engineer, and our president-elect. Now, know that the vice president stays on in tenure across many presidents. That's how our organization has been set up. Our next president-elect, who shall bring us to the Eastern Bloc, and our resident arc flash expert and a phenomenal marketing genius, I would like to introduce you to Mr. Marcin Bruda.
Thank you very much, Sam. I think it's too much, yeah, for me. Just to give maybe some background. So I met with Sam some time ago, like 2.5, 3 years ago, and we met at the Electrical Safety Workshop in Arizona over 2 years ago, I think. Or it's almost 2 years, I remember. So as far as I understand, I like the idea of ESIPAC committee because it's something what I technically did on the very lowest scale, and I like that we are going to share the knowledge with people because that's technically speaking that's what we're supposed to do, and I like the idea that access to the knowledge is supposed to be relatively easy, so we don't have people don't have a problem to access it. And as Dale mentioned it, and David and Sam, it's more about the communication. Most of the things already exists in place. It's just the way how to transfer the knowledge to people, explain it, what we have to do, how we have to do it, keep the awareness on a certain level. And that's, for me, generally the goal of ESIPAC. So we are going to help people to understand what's happening, how to do it, how to deal with it, and what are things related with electrical safety, what are not related, because it's also important to know what's not the problem as an additional thing. And I feel like we are going to some tour because we are going to Australia. I see Sam already has some more ideas coming next year, and I like that we are going to Australia. For me, I've never been in Australia before, and it's going to be, I think, very interesting, especially that I did recently the conference myself. So we are going to help there a lot to make this thing happen and bring it as much practical knowledge as possible to what I can share, at least from my side, to explain to people. Also, we have 2-3 days when we can talk with everyone. So I think it's supposed to be nice. So thank you very much for this chance, Sam, and I really like that I'm in the group of such like-minded people, and that we are going to do this together. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Indeed.
Well, thank you so much, Marcin. And I think after the embers of this workshop die down, we're going to start cooking up something for 2028, maybe, or so, to meet up in Warsaw, Poland, for the next workshop. And the advantage is, unlike Australia, which Dale pointed out as already developed, uh, Poland has access to many of the Eastern Bloc countries which were under the old USSR. And I know I have a family that comes from there, and some of them are still sheep herders, or they have advanced in some ways, but their infrastructure is still lacking, just Soviet era time power lines and transformers, legacy 1950 oil circuit breakers, that kind of stuff. So we would see a great demand from officials and industry representatives from those countries who should be able to easily and inexpensively travel to Poland to share what we have. And as our motto says, is we take $1 from the people who can pay, and we take a penny from the poor brother. Our services are highly subsidized for those who need it, but they're not free because we have to keep the lights on. That being said, no ESIPAC director collects a stipend. We only don't want to lose money, so we pick up our own expenses or anything that has been invested into the infrastructure or the organization of these events. So it is a noble cause, and I'm so excited that I have friends and knowledgeable directors to help us through in this endeavor. Now, that being said, I would like to open the floor. Yes, sir, David.
Can I just mention a couple of things, if I may, Sam? One is I have had the pleasure on a number of occasions of presenting over in Australia, and of course meeting Dale, which was a delight. And the one thing that really highlights Australia for me about the individuality of it is the honesty of the people there and the directness. And they don't pull no punches, and they're quite open about art flash incidents and all that. So I think we will learn as much as that we're taking over there to teach them. And the other thing is about our forthcoming conference and workshop in Poland in 2 years hence, is that Warsaw, which just happens to be one of my favorite cities, if not the favorite one I have, is going to be one of absolute brilliance as well, because of the technology that is coming out of Poland, which Marcin is obviously one of those figureheads from there. So it's very exciting times for ESIPAC, it's very exciting times for Australia, and it's very exciting time for Poland too.
The hard work, like we were discussing in the morning before we decided to meet, is the industrial focus and the perseverance of the Polish are now bearing fruit, as in Poland is emerging as a center of technology that the rest of the world, not just Europe, is looking at, saying we need to tap into this and we need to be part of Polish technology. Absolutely.
Yeah.
So yeah, Dale, take the
Just
floor.
one thing for you guys when you coming to Australia, a couple of things to be mindful of is drop bears, and make sure you've got crocodile spray and roo whistles. So,
Well, did you see? I sent you a picture of an alligator lying in the sun a couple days ago.
well, that was the
Yeah, I saw it.
that was a long-tailed, long-nosed, short-legged dog that I was talking about. That you need to bring to Australia.
Yeah, you
so
live in
it'll
completely
be
different
the-
places I do. Like, worst thing
Yeah,
for me can happen is like the
we
stray dog somewhere.
we, we
That's it.
have funny dogs here. Yes. Well, maybe I will look at 2030 here or in Canada. Depends on how things are, and if I can pull some of our directors who are a little distracted or not as gung ho as the few of us are, will need some help. But I think over time, this brings me to the next set of questions. Where do we see ESIPAC in the next 5 or 10 years? So, okay, since I hold a token, I'll go first. What I would like to see is I got probably another 5 to 8 to 10 years max of useful, contributable time before I just hang up my hat. And in that time, I would like to see this organization grow, see younger people take charge, bring ESIPAC to the university level, bring it up to industry level, as in people who are active employees of companies become ESIPAC members and kind of learn mentorship skills as they are young and carry the torch that we started long ago. So I would like to see ESIPAC grow into this large organization with our pictures on the wall saying these few old blokes started it. That's me.
Oh, it's a great legacy.
Speak for yourself, yeah.
Yeah, I'd like to see it go. There's another. I think they're called water angels or something. Has anyone heard of them? It's basically like water engineers that do what we would like to do, which is they actually um, help developing countries with who haven't got good water um, to provide water to them, so as to set up pump stations and such like that, and that's where I would like to see us. So I'd like to see us recognised out there as someone who is, and there's a lot of people out there who are interested too. Like there's an engineer here in Perth that I met over in Brisbane at a conference, and I told him about ESIPAC, and he would like to be involved if ever we need any help. He just loved the idea that if there's any country or anyone like that that needs help, he would like to roll up his sleeves and help out. So, yeah, I'd like to see us recognised that if anyone in developing countries is looking for help, they know who ESIPAC is and they can reach out.
Yeah.
Whereas right now, they don't know. We've got to get the word out there for them to be able to know what to look for, as in the search engine.
Well, I almost heard from someone in an airline in Africa. It was not Somalia. It was probably Ethiopia. Yes, and the guy from Ethiopian Airlines asked about consultation for their grid. and we were trying to gauge on the size of what they're asking. Turns out it's a whole country, and the representative just happens to be working for Ethiopian Airlines. And we started to go on a route of, we can help you as ESIPAC, as a nonprofit, but I wasn't organized back then, so I couldn't give them prices. But we're so close. It takes, like they say, it takes one job to get rid of unemployment. So and to your point, Dale, we are not just electrical, but instrumentation and controls people as well. The hazardous locations. So, well, yeah, I know that's 24 volts powered and it's not high voltage, but still you need all the bits and pieces. Yeah, that's kind of how I became an electrical guy. I was trained as an instrument tech, and then someone said, "Hey, my three-phase motor isn't starting," and I'm checking the PLC and forcing the bit, and it's turning on and off the relay, ice cube relay, with the lights also clicking. I can hear the normally open and closed contacts, but the motor isn't starting. So they say, yeah, it's your job. For Wani, go take a look. So I take my meter, stupidly change the range from 24 volts, change it to 1000, no PPE, no face shield, and I'm going in and checking the three phase on the other side. So hey, that's how I started. And then I was an apprentice, teamed up with a senior guy. He says, you will kill yourself doing this if you don't know what you're doing. So let me help you with that. When you're crossing over to the other side, the dark side, the the high voltage side, you better be careful. So the rest is history. But no, no, absolutely. We're for, if there's a water project, not just the feeds, the single line that decides but all the way to the MCC. They don't need us to show us how to do programming. Everybody does that, but laying out protection for any three-phase circuit, low, that is utilization, distribution, and transmission, where I think we should be able to help.
I like the high
David,
voltage
yeah.
because of with LV, there's a lot of legislation, there's a lot of standards in it, and so it's pretty well taken care of. There are issues, but it's only because if someone just refuses to follow the standards. Whereas with HV, we're more strict on LV than what we are on HV, and a lot of people don't realise that. They think surely there's got to be a lot stricter on HV. They themselves personally, like HV operators personally, are more strict, but only because of just things that they picked up on the way. So that's why I like HV, because there's no help for them out there in legislation and standards.
My concern with HV is when you have people bringing in grounded equipment into the substation, such as a boom truck, or they're working with power lines. So everything on that equipment is connected to ground, and they're coming dangerously close. They have not mapped their routing of how their arm or their boom or the bucket is going to move, and they come dangerously close, violate the limited approach boundary. Before you know it, it's all glowing purple, arcing, and because somebody didn't do a risk assessment, we call them GHA GSA forms, and decided to wing it. So we're scared of those things, Dale, not just the actual HV substation, but also idiots going in and not respecting safe distances.
Yeah. And where a lot of people think that if it's earthed, it's safe, whereas plenty of people, especially in the States where we've got a lot more people than Australia, we can learn a lot from America, where just because they think it's earthed doesn't mean to say it's earthed properly, and doesn't mean to say you don't have potential difference between the earths. And so people are killed from that. So yeah, there's a lot of things that I explain to people and experienced people, and they are shocked. And so, yeah. Anyway, That's why I like HV. We got a long way to go.
Well, this is also, if you ask some, what will we see 5 to 10 years for ESIPAC? For me, like, I think I'm going a little bit sideways from what you have, because personally, I don't think ESIPAC should be something like doing the work, consulting, at least as a part of the core of services. I think we should be more like the mentorship group. So if someone wants to have a mentor, so we can create a as big as possible group of people that can be a mentor, share a bit of their time with others, maybe one here, someone else, or locally spread, doesn't matter. So we can mentorship ourselves together, help us to align the knowledge across the ESIPAC. Something like that, Dave, actually you do the AG Club, I would say this way, where you have something like ESIPAC Club, we have people, we have directors, we can share the knowledge, we can meet sometimes and train us. So we align the knowledge and communication awareness across the whole organization. And then we can also start mentoring others. So if someone wants from the country that cannot, for example, you can imagine there might be a country when there is no easy access to knowledge or things like this, but the knowledge, everything else is already available in one or another form. So I don't think we can get into this like copying IEEE and IEC and doing whatever they do.
No.
But I think we can share the knowledge and communicate it properly with others and mentor people that requires help. So if they want to bring their ethical safety program, they want to bring and start planning, we can help them to understand how to do it, what you have to do, what you have to start, where you have to start, where you can look for the information. And so that's giving them a tool to make this happen instead of really doing the job for them. I think I'll think more about this because it makes, for me personally, more sense if you have the professional engineer consultants when their work is what actually we do. And someone can also hire them, doesn't matter. But in my feeling, it's more about mentor. So you have someone like they or you or David that can explain to someone, yeah, you don't do this, you can do this, go like this, check this standard, read this book, go back to me once you are done. And because that's their work, and then we can guide them, okay, this looks okay, we can do some consulting as a part of organization, let's say. But I will focus more like mentorship for students, for people which are trying to do something like this in, I don't know, Somalia, Ethiopia, Zambia, whatever, or somewhere in Middle East, or in Australia or US, and even doesn't matter. It's more like helping people to understand and getting in the same line and going, let's say, create a safe workplace and spreading this news. And I think that's, in my feeling, that's supposed to be, your idea was to ESIPAC to be. So not really consulting, more like mentorship. So everyone's share a bit of their time and helping others to understand, which normally is hard to get, because we have a conflict of interest. No one wants to share the knowledge across the companies because you actually do money from this. And then it's like, I'm like not going to help you. But if you are mentoring other people, helping them to get better, that's a little bit different story. So you don't have to share the know-how that you have, really, like the old details, but you can explain, go this, read this, don't look at this, this is an error, this is wrong understanding. And then someone is like getting on track what they have to do, which I think is the core value of people with like you with a lot of experience. When you can like in 5 minutes explain, no, don't go this way. We've been there. It's a dead end. Go back and do this. So that's my feeling.
No, that's absolutely right, Marcin. I probably should have dug deeper into my thoughts at that time when I was in contact with the Ethiopians. Our role, say hypothetically, we were to be approached by a large organization or a government, would be a fringe role of a client's representative. So we are, on the layer acting as their representative, helping them hire the right contractors, make sure that they're not being taken advantage of because they don't have resident experts in the field of distribution transmission. So our role is not actually to construct the project, but to act as client's consultant representative with the liaison with the consulting engineer, general contractor as such, always having the interests of the client in mind as first priority, and not charging them that much. Just like we said, a dollar from the affluent and a penny from the poor brother, but still lodging ourselves so that they have the confidence that ESIPAC is holding my hand so I can embark and get this complex project done without having cost overruns or corruption and money being fed from the coffers of the project to the contractors. Somebody ran away with all the copper and that kind of stuff.
I think it's like important to write also what we are not doing. So where we
Yes.
are not helping, this is like fun thing always in the business when people say like we can do this, but no one is saying that no, we don't help you with this thing.
I agree.
And I think this is something to be maybe something we have to add after the conference once we meet,
On
just
the
to specify
website.
we don't do this, we don't do this, we don't do this, but we will guide you to get to the safe place, let's say. Up to
Well,
you,
David,
Sam,
Yeah,
awesome.
well,
Well, thank you, Marcin. Yeah.
it is awesome. You're absolutely right, Sam. And that is what is so beautiful about this organisation. People speak their mind and the rest of us listen. And I see the fusion of all of those ideas we've just spoken about. I really do. And I agree with Marcin. There has to be a list of what we do and what we don't know, so that we know our strengths and what our offerings are to these people. But I see ESIPAC at the moment, and where we're going to grow in 10 years, is the fact that you have got a layer of standards organisations such as IEEE and IEC, NFPA, that lay out these standards for organisations to follow, which is all well and good, as long as you've got people at the top that really want to follow those. It doesn't apply really to those people that are on the coalface itself. And that's the other thing about ESIPAC. All of us have been on the coalface, and some of us are still on the coalface. So we've got that experience of knowing exactly what these people go through and what their feelings are, which is something that perhaps the IEEE, IEC, and the rest of the organisations don't really feel. On the other end of the scale, you've got organisations such as OSHA and the UK Health and Safety Executive, who, to me, have one thing and one thing only on their mind, and that's to fill their coffers by waiting for you to make a mistake, coming in, finding you, and putting money in their bank. So we stand right in the middle of all of that. We are that bridge that people can come to, the ordinary people of the world, the people that feel that they've got nowhere to turn to, but also major organisations, huge organisations that feel if we run things through ESIPAC, we know that we're doing things right for our workers as well. So I see an enormous role for us to play, and it is about getting ourselves out there, getting ourselves notified, noticed, and that's the beauty of the coming up global conference, because it will give us the ability to make people aware of what we are, who we are, and all the rest. And that is something that I never go on any presentation anywhere and I don't mention ESIPAC, the value of it and what it is worth to the industry.
That's brilliant, Dave. Thanks. You are, I think,
Sorry.
they say, right, the perfect human being is a collective sum of individual human beings. So
Absolutely.
we need Marcin's good looks and Dave's nice British stiff upper lip, and Dale's rough hands from being tough in the HV world, and before you know it, we got the perfect Superman. I really love this. I like this. So no, no, absolutely. So Dale, you want to have anything to add on what you see in ESIPAC down the road, 5-10 years from now, that hasn't already been addressed?
No, from what same as like what Marcin was saying, that rather than do everything for them, it'd be good to mentor them so as they can continue on the next project on their own. And
Okay.
that's what I try and do with coaching, that I don't tell them how to do it. And some don't like that because they just want to be told.
Yes.
But I want them to learn so as when the next job comes up, they can figure out how to do it. And so, yeah, more of same thing with ESIPAC. Rather than just give them the procedures and say, there you go, or give them the engineering calculations and say, there you go. Hold their hand, take them through it, and the next time, and you don't take it through just this project. It's the process. It's the just how to work it out next time. And then they might ask again to get involved, but eventually they can run off and do it themselves.
Yeah. Well, I have another little um, corollary, if you will, for where I'd like to see our organization be, is ESIPAC should, over time, gain that much recognition and prestige that for-profit organizations should want to support us to get our logo on their merchandise and on their website, because it's good for their shareholders. Is we are a bona fide supporter of a nonprofit that's doing all this good work. What that does is it brings us more money. What do we do with the extra cash? We actually visit Burkina Faso or these companies, just like I did when I found I went to Western Ghana, Techiman, and I started I made this little orphanage and I started a cottage industry for soaps. When you actually visit there and you be firsthand with the poor, you realize how much work needs to be done. So kind of becoming like a Engineers Without Borders, that was my other uh, part of where ESIPAC goes, is we proactively visit world areas that need help, not just wait for our reputation to trickle down and them to approach our lordship, as in get our roll up our sleeves. And it goes in our bulletin. ESIPAC this month shall be visiting Rwanda. We are going we are going on the behest of the Rwandan government to look at the grounding system for their main power company distribution. They're having issues, like stuff like that. So,
Yeah, that'd be good. Probably one thing on top of that I would like is when we get an office or even a virtual office, the president photos or paintings of president are to be put on the wall.
We'll do that in
we can find the
2027,
mountain.
Dale.
Yeah.
So we will not have an office. We will not have a office. We will have sections. And you are all directors of your respective sections for now. So those will mushroom into subsections. So the head section for Europe will be in Poland, and then there will be a Czech section, and then some section for Kazakhstan, and UK will have all the Commonwealth sections, Gibraltar and the British Guyana and India will all report to the UK, that kind of thing. So I see I see a structure forming over time, but there's a lot of work to be done, yes. And the head office of all that head office will have the presidents.
Good.
Yeah.
I've only
So
got a couple of years left, so I've got to leave something.
no, why
behind.
not?
I'll get
Right?
on.
You
on.
want that beautiful face to be adorned there forever. I
Yeah,
want to live
On
forever.
that point, my makeup is starting to melt under these
Okay.
lights.
So we have to quickly wrap up. All right. So we have to
Yeah.
do a quick roundtable, gentlemen, on what you intend to present at the Brisbane February workshop. So who wants to go first? Marcin.
Me? Yeah, okay, I'm going. So I would like to welcome everyone to join us in the 16, 17, 18 of February in Brisbane. And I'll be honored to present and explain about the arc flash awareness. Let's say we'll do this short session to explain what arc flash is, what it's not, why it happens, how we deal with this, and so on, very briefly. And you can always nurture me about all the details. And the next session, part of the workshop, will be how to explain about what the arc flash study is, what generally it means, what we have to do, how we have to do it. I don't think I will have time to go into the details of engineering and calculation, but I will show you how it works in the whole process, how we approach it, what's the input, output, where we do it, and some examples. So that's my idea for the 2 sessions on for the Brisbane workshop. And I think that's from me. I hope you should like it, but I will be there for 2 days so everyone can catch me and talk with me, to know more.
Yeah, I see lots of people coming to you saying, can MR power systems help us with labels and protection, or, the protection guy I haven't got to. Let's talk to him. Mr. Transmag.
Yes, hello there. So what I'm hoping to what I will be bringing to the conference and the workshop is all about safety within the switch room and the substation. Now, it can be, if you want a demonstration on partial discharge, on condition monitoring, on how arc flash technology can make for safe working conditions, all of that encompassing whether it be on 1 presentation, 2 presentations, however much time that you will allow me, that I can take up without taking from the sponsors, and of course workshop demonstrations as well. So the condition monitoring, which will include humidity, thermal, dust and degradation, even unauthorized access into substations, and of course arc flash technology.
So Marcin's going to show us what it is and how to measure it, and you're going to tell us how to stop it and how to protect from it, pretty much.
Yeah.
So the two of you are tag teaming this. I see.
Yeah.
Dale, are you presenting something? You ought to.
One of the things I'm doing is similar as to how to stop arc flash, but through the use of managing the HV system with switching. So what I will show you is the world's simplest method of how to design a switching program and a flow chart for questions to ask while developing it. And it's that simple. I usually have people who do it for the first time write it the first time, and there's not one skerrick of a mistake in it. It's absolutely perfect.
Fantastic.
It's designed in such a manner that, because a lot of people think that we're writing it for dummies. We're not writing it for dummies. We're writing it for people who are hot. They're frustrated. They're out there during the day. They want the job to finish. There's other things. There's 100 things that can be on their mind, and they just want to get out of there. And so they make mistakes. We all make silly mistakes. So the switching program is written in such a manner that it makes them stop and think about what they're doing and makes them check the best things to check. There's a lot of people still confused as to whether you're the semaphore, the VIPs, or the window, which is the best way to check. So that type of thing, I'll be showing you exactly how to be able to do that. And it's that simple. You can take it back to work and then show the others how to do it and develop your own protocol on how to do switching. So, and if need be, if there's other things that need me to do, I will take them through if there's more time on another discussion about the legality, I suppose you could say, of the high voltage assistant. There's a lot of dramas out there with the high voltage assistant, so we'll clear up a lot of things on that. And a few other things, if need be, we can talk about the problems that we're seeing with remote switching. But on top of that, other Australian presenters, what we've got is we may well be doing someone with transformer testing. We've certainly got someone who's going to show us how to prepare a high voltage cable for termination, because the biggest problem that we have over here is just about every cable termination that fails is due to poor workmanship, because they do not know how to prepare a cable for termination. So we'll have that. And we've also got another Australian presenter that is looking at showing us the problems that we have with dissolved gas analysis on transformers. So it's a thing that I did not realize. So he talked me through a few things. So that's one of the things he might do. But there's a whole stack of things that this gentleman himself can bring to the party. But looks like one of the things that's going to be interesting for us is the issues with dissolved gas analysis. And it's not that they're not good. It's just basically how to manage them. So that's what we've got.
That's amazing. So, folks, just like Dale alluded to, is we all have our core presentation, and then there's a backup. We're keeping a secondary presentation just as a filler, but we hope that we shall get other speakers, external paid speakers, so we do not have to present more than a couple. But should we not have that many, we are prepared to populate the workshop with more knowledge. Now, I was going to put on a class of hazardous locations, which is incendiary vapors or coal dust or grain dust or any other such situation that can cause a fire triangle to be completed, which is a spark, um, the right temperature, and the right medium, which causes an explosion, which is an undesirable incident. How those are mitigated in the field with electrical engineering by using intrinsic safety, by using flame-proof construction, by using purge and pressurize, by using totally encapsulated, by using optical isolation, the various techniques. Those techniques are standard across the industry. However, their designator letters or numbers vary from North America, old NEC, to the newer, to the Canadian standard, which copied the new American standard, to ATEX, which is used by Great Britain and France, and IEC, which is used by rest of Europe. And Dale would have to fill me in on what Australia, New Zealand use. But that is my secondary presentation now. My primary offering to you is a walkthrough of a substation like you see behind me, where we're going to do a walkthrough of every component that you see inside the cage, outdoor in a substation, upon the gravel, which is your main substation transformer, bushings, air switches, corona rings, CTs, PTs, and surge and lightning arresters. We're going to take a qualified look at them, each of them, as in, do they need maintenance? If so, what kind? When you're doing a visual walkthrough and supervision, what are you looking for? What are their early signs of failure? And what can be done to mitigate them? So this is what I shall be presenting, and hope to see you all there. I'm looking forward to this and couldn't be more honored to be with a more privileged coterie, the bunch of folks that are with me today. This is Sam saying thank you.
Yeah,
Likewise, thank you.
yeah.
Thank you. Yeah.
I can't wait to the conference, so it will be very nice.
Yeah.
Okay,
Me too.
So,
I am going to
so
end the
we just make an
recording.
invitation, like we invite everyone to come, also the sponsors, also the entities and the people. So if someone is like, maybe we should say who is it for? I think it's for electrical engineers, people which are related with electrical safety, everyone who is interested in the topics that we are going to say, of course. people who are doing maintenance on electrical networks. I don't know. We can add something, Dale, Dave, Sam. You have anyone
I
else
just
in
think it's
mind?
going to be so educational for the people that we're presenting to, but also to us to get an idea of what the Australian culture in our industry is all about.
Yeah, just like I say, watch out for those drop bears. If you go out at night, don't shine the torch up in the trees. So, but yeah, those who are attending, anyone who's really interested in electrical field, there could even be electricians. A lot of them, because of the fact that, like certainly with my area of the switching programs, is more of electricians. Certainly supervisors, and then with you guys, more of the engineering side of things. So a whole range of anyone, and not even as to whether it's just mining. It's also going to be the likes of Energex and Ergon and PowerLink, the supply authorities we have. Um, anyone at all in electrical. And it's not just high voltage, it's low voltage. For instance, your arc flash over here, they're realizing that arc flash is not just high voltage, and low voltage can be a lot
Absolutely.
worse. And
It's
Yeah,
so,
higher
absolutely
currents.
spot on.
yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's anyone at all that opens a switchboard anywhere really needs to come along to this.
To this workshop. Yep.
Perfect.
Well, absolutely. We shall see you in Brisbane, February 2026. And thank you to the ESIPAC management team. And we shall look forward to your visitation. Remember, there's an early bird discount if you register before the 31st of Jan.
Yes,
The
yes,
31st of
in
December.
Yeah, instead of 650, you only pay 490. So only got 2 weeks to go. So get in there. But it's definitely going to be worth it. For the cost of 1 day
Yeah.
of training, you've got 2 days of similar to like a conference, a seminar type system where smoko and lunch and everything is provided. And this is a lot better than any type of training out there that you're going to be able to get in Australia. So for 1 day's training value or cost, you've got 2 days of brilliant information. So bring your notepads, bring your pens. It's going to be a lot of work.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Okay, thank you. Bye.
Guys.
Take care,
Yeah.
everybody.
Bye.
Cheers. Bye-bye now. Bye.